Hey guys, 919 here. So this is going to be my review for Star Wars The Force Awakens. So I'm going to talk about the movie without going into spoilers for maybe like the first 2 minutes of this video. And then the rest of the video is going to be spoilers. So I'll warn you when I get to spoilers. So Star Wars, it was phenomenal. It's not a movie, it's an experience. Because when you're watching the movie, it feels like you're in the battle. You're there with Rey, with Finn, with Poe, and with the original trilogy characters. Everything is great. The plot, the characters, the visual effects, and the visual effects are really great. It's kind of weird seeing this movie with these really great visual effects because before the effects for the original and prequel movies weren't the best, and now seeing this movie is just mind-blowing. Surprisingly, there's a lot of humor. It wasn't over-the-top humor or that silly, wacky kind of humor. It was appropriate, and the humor flows from everybody. It's just really great. It's something that we really didn't see in the prequels and original trilogy, so I give it a thumbs up. The only bad thing, not really a bad thing, but maybe just a minor issue, is how similar this movie is to any of the other Star Wars movies. And what I mean by that is the plot. You watch this movie, you're going to say to yourself, well, this looks familiar. Really, it's how you want to take it all in. But because it looks similar to the other Star Wars movies, Episode 8 and Episode 9 may theme up in the same way, which could turn out to be a bigger issue the more we see it. So that's it for the overview. Let's move on into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, leave now, watch the movie, and then come back to hear what I have to say. So what I'm going to do is give a recap of the movie, give you my thoughts, and write down some of my top 10 moments. So here we go. Luke's gone missing, and the First Order, which is the follow-up to the Empire, is searching for him. They head to Jakku and capture Poe Dameron, a Resistance pilot. Before being captured, Poe sends his droid BB-8 away from the conflict with the map to Luke Skywalker's location. Stormtrooper FN-2187, later dubbed Finn, helps Poe escape. The two succeed but get separated when they crash back on Jakku. Finn comes across Rey, who has crossed paths with BB-8. TIE fighters close in on their location, and they are forced to leave on the Millennium Falcon. Finn and Rey come across Han Solo and Chewbacca, who explains to them that Luke disappeared after an apprentice of his turned to the dark side and became Kylo Ren, destroying all that Luke had built. Finn, Rey, Han, and Chewie head to Takodana and meet Maz Kanata. Rey discovers Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber and receives a vision. She rejects Maz's offer to take the lightsaber. The First Order attacks Maz's hideout and Kylo takes Rey prisoner. The Resistance plans to attack Starkiller Base, which has a superweapon capable of destroying planets. Han, Finn, and Chewie head to the planet with Poe, who's revealed to be alive, and the Resistance fleet by their side. Rey is able to escape on her own and reunites with Finn, Han, and Chewie. Kylo Ren arrives to stop them, and Han confronts his son, Ben, begging him to leave the dark side. However, Ren kills his father. Poe and the Resistance fighters are able to cripple the Starkiller Base. Ren goes after Finn and Rey. Finn battles Ren with Anakin's lightsaber, however he's wounded. Rey takes the lightsaber and overpowers him with the Force. Rey, Finn, and Chewie leave the planet as it is destroyed. R2 activates and provides the remaining pieces of Luke's location. Rey goes with Chewie and R2 to Luke's location, where she confronts him and shows him that she has Anakin's lightsaber. So overall, I'm giving this movie a 10. Like I said in the beginning, this movie is really great. It's an experience, not just a movie. The issue I was talking about was how similar the movie looks like to Episode 4. From start to finish, this movie has a couple of similarities to A New Hope. Poe has a map of Luke Skywalker's location, similar to Princess Leia's plans for the Death Star. Starkiller Base, similar to the Death Star, even though it's bigger. Han made a joke about it, and it can destroy 5 planets instead of 1. When Han dies, similar to how Obi-Wan dies in Episode 4. And when Rey meets Luke, similar to how Luke meets Yoda on Dagobah for training. Except that was in Episode 5, but you get the idea. It's not a big issue, but if they follow up on this practice, like if we see a lot of Episode 5 and Episode 8, then we might have a problem. But the characters are really great. Finn, Poe, and Rey are amazing. Finn is an interesting character because the way he reacts to things is like John Boyega is reacting to being in a Star Wars film. So a lot of his enthusiasm as an actor pours into his role in the movie, which is really great. We really haven't seen a character like Finn before. I would probably compare him to Cisco from The Flash. He's not over the top, but he has the same energy like Cisco, maybe a little bit less. Some of my favorite moments from Finn are when he helps Poe escape and says, stay calm, and Poe thinks that he's talking to him, but he was actually talking to himself. And then when he captures Captain Phasma, he starts telling him that he's in charge, and he goes over the top with that. Rey is really great too. She is just so awesome. I'm loving the direction that they're taking her. They're giving her the Jedi role. She also crushes all of the conventional female roles in movies. I can run without you holding my hand. A lot of the new trilogy's success is making her a really strong female character, which is something that we don't really see in the Star Wars universe. I'd say that Princess Leia was that strong female character before this movie, but Rey came along and said, no, just forget about Princess Leia. Originally, I thought that she would be Han and Leia's daughter, but now I'm beginning to think that she's Luke's daughter. There just has to be some kind of connection because when she discovered the lightsaber, Ma said that the lightsaber called to her. So I don't think that Anakin's lightsaber would call to any Force-sensitive user. What I think happened is that when Ben betrayed Luke and the other soon-to-be Jedi, Luke sent Rey away so that she could be safe. And Snoke wanted Kylo Ren to bring Rey to him. He said, if what you said is true, bring her to me. So Kylo might have mentioned that she's Luke's daughter, but it wasn't said on screen. It was only implied that she was Force sensitive, then bring her to me. If she's connected to Luke or not, we'll just have to wait and see until 2017. She could be Han and Leia's daughter still, but if she was, I think they would have revealed that in this movie. Just seeing Han and Rey interact in the Millennium Falcon sort of draws to that conclusion that she's Han's daughter. Kylo Ren was another interesting character, a very complex character. You can see similarities in his character with Anakin. I really like the differences in his character when he doesn't have the mask on. When he has it, he's Kylo Ren, but when he doesn't, he's Ben Solo. And surprise, surprise, he's Han and Leia's son. I wasn't expecting him to be related to anyone, but this adds layers to his character. He's conflicted with the pull to the light side and the pull to the dark side, and he goes to Darth Vader, his grandfather, to remind him of the dark side. It's like his religion or something, which is something that I think J.J. Abrams and the writers did a really great job of. Poe and Captain Phasma were really great. I just wish that they got more screen time, especially Captain Phasma. She was only in this movie for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Poe's really great. I loved his character. I just wish we spent more time with him as well. As for the original trilogy characters, they killed it as well. Leia, Luke, and Han, especially Han. Just imagine if Han died in Return of the Jedi. Harrison Ford has mentioned that he wanted Han to die in Episode 6. I'm just glad that George Lucas didn't take this into consideration. And then there's Supreme Leader Snoke. I was shocked to see him to be this big giant, but all of his scenes were a hologram. I'm pretty sure that in real life, he's average size. He's very similar to Emperor Palpatine, and in fact, his design in the movie was original concept for what Emperor Palpatine was supposed to look like. So he seduced Ben to the dark side, and he commanded General Hux to bring Ben to him so that he can complete his training. All I can say is that I'm stoked to see Snoke in Episode 8 and 9. He seems like he would be more powerful than Emperor Palpatine, because Palpatine was old. During the prequels, he was a badass, so we'll see Snoke fight the same way that Palpatine did in Episode 3. One minor issue that I had with this movie was the logic behind the Starkiller base. The fact that it draws power from the sun, it just didn't click with me. And the fact that the base itself was incorporated inside of the planet, it was a little trippy to follow, even the outside shot of the planet. Like when you're on the planet, you can tell that it's a planet, but when you're outside in space, it looks like a space station. So it's really hard to distinguish between either one. The other thing that probably other people will say that's bad about this movie is the lack of information in the 30-year gap, because this movie sets place 30 years after Episode 6. I feel like it's appropriate that we didn't get everything. This movie was supposed to deliver the conflict, introduce the new characters. If we got everything, then it would be too much information, and there's probably something that's really big and key to the plot of the overall sequel trilogy that isn't ready to be revealed yet. And the gap from Episode 7 and 8 would have given away that something, or a hint to that. So here are a couple of Easter eggs that I've seen. FN2187, the numbers are the same numbers of Princess Leia's cell block back in Episode 4. When Finn is trying to help Chewie with his injuries, he finds the combat remote that Luke uses in Episode 4. Finn also activates the holo chess game, and then Chewbacca gets really excited. I have a better strategy, R2. Let the Wookiee win. Kylo mentions to General Hux that maybe they should have used clones instead of stormtroopers. We also see Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. And Yin Nub. Han also suggests to Finn that they should send Phasma down a garbage chute with a trash compactor, which is what happened to Han, Luke, Leia, and Chewie back in Episode 4. If there's any other Easter eggs that you spotted that I didn't mention, just leave them down in the comments below. So, top 10 moments. Since there were so many moments in this movie, I had to cut some of the really great moments, so here's some honorable mentions. Rey when she finds Anakin's lightsaber and has a Force vision. When Han and Chewie first show up. When Leia and C-3PO show up, when R2 shows up, and when Poe and Finn escape. So here we go with the top 10 moments, starting with number 10, meet Finn. There were rumors that he was supposed to be Lando's son, but since we didn't see Lando in this movie or see Han acknowledge that Finn is Lando's son, then he might be connected to nobody. Number 9, meet Rey. Number 8, meet Poe Dameron. Number 7, meet Kylo Ren. Number 6, meet Supreme Leader Snoke. Number 5, the Resistance destroys Starkiller Base. Number 4, Rey Jedi mind tricks a stormtrooper. So, two things. 1, the guy underneath the stormtrooper suit in this scene is James Bond himself, Daniel Craig. And 2, this puts into question how powerful Rey is with the Force. She's just now discovering her powers, so for her to pick up on the Jedi mind trick, especially since nobody else did it in this movie, so she would have no idea about that power, kind of adds on to the theory that she's Luke's daughter. Even when she's fighting Kylo Ren, it seems like Rey is more powerful than Ren. Since Leia is Ren's mother, his powers are probably not as strong because Leia didn't go in depth with her powers. And since Luke went in depth with his powers, Rey could have inherited that strength in the Force that Luke had already developed. Number 3, Rey versus Kylo Ren. Number 2, Kylo Ren kills Han Solo. Clearly somebody would have died in this movie. We all thought that it would be Han, but we never could have imagined that he would die at the hands of his own son, which is really messed up. So this goes to show how complex Ren's character is, and I can't wait to see him in episode 8 and 9. And my number one moment, of course, Rey finds Luke Skywalker. So that's it for this video, but here's my question for you guys. What are your thoughts on episode 7? And do you think Rey is Luke's daughter or Han and Leia's daughter? Just leave your thoughts down in the comments below. So episode 8 is coming out May 26, 2017. That's a year and a half away. We'd probably see the first trailer for it between May and November of the upcoming year. Rogue One is set to premiere a year from now. There's so much Star Wars going on for the next 5 years. It's a great time to be alive. Be sure to subscribe for more Star Wars. I'm probably going to do a predictions video for episode 8 after the weekend. There's still some questions that need to be answered. In the meantime, I recommend that you watch this movie as many times as possible until it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD. You'd probably spend more than $200 if you did that, which is money well spent. So right now you can watch my breakdown for the last Star Wars trailer, and you can watch my breakdown for the Batman v Superman trailer. So thank you so much for watching. Bye. Star Wars is back.